As much as it looks like I'm trying to explain something to you, I'm really trying to explain something to myself and deepen my understanding of the mind science, the science of the psyche or the soul. And in expressing it in these musings, I am expanding my own understanding. And maybe if you are listening to this, it will give you something to consider. My theme, and it's always going to be my theme, the primary theme, the most important theme, is self-realization and self-awareness. Because contrary to what we have been told and conditioned into self-centeredness to mean, there is an inner self-centeredness that, oh, it's noisy. There is an inner self-centeredness that we should practice to come to the center of the universe, which our inner awareness really is the center of the universe, is God awareness. You see, all of the generations preceding us, at least the last 2,000 years, where this understanding and consciousness was lost due to the Christian indoctrination, the religion of Christianity. During that period of generations, mankind has existed in a separated state of consciousness, meaning that we are something separate from God. We're most certainly not divine. We're most certainly not God. We're most certainly not one with the Creator. That was really carved out and emphasized within the Christian religion in that era. That I am a sinner, depraved, unworthy, and that God is someone different and separate from me, that is holy, and that I am unworthy to approach. That is the collective Christian consciousness of separation that we have all partaken of. And in that consciousness, you can never truly find God, because God is not out there. God is in here. And God is not in here as another identity or entity we call Jesus, because that is still in the mental and psychological or soulology science, that still separates the layers of awareness within us. We're still relating to another who is separate from us. It's not about that. That presence of God that is quote-unquote in us as a separate substance, because our mind thinks of it as separate, is not Jesus, is not Holy Spirit. It is your soul. Once you realize the substance of your soul, the sacredness, the holiness that your soul is, there is no way you can separate that from the lump that is holy God. The separation is not possible. The separation is only possible through thinking, through the mind that doesn't know what it is. You're not your mind. You have a mind, but you're not that thinking mind. You are the thinker. You are the greater mind that gives you the ability to think. But your mind is not, if that makes sense, that small mind is not who you are. So yeah, this separation, this mental separation that makes us think that God is some gigantic, omnipotent entity in the cosmos somewhere, and we are separated from that. We are just a product or creation of that. That is the mind creating the distinction and the separateness between us and all things. And that is error. That is error. You'll never experience the wholeness and fullness through that perception than you would if you include yourself in divinity, if you include yourself in the oneness of all. The very consciousness that operates in you and as you is the consciousness of Creator God, of the Almighty, as we call him in Christianity. The Almighty is finding expression through your being, through your human being, through the trees, the grasses, the stones. Everything is connected to that one consciousness. And therefore, once we have the awareness of that, we no longer seek to worship or bow down to someone greater than ourselves, because there is no one greater than ourselves that does not include us. So if you want to bow down to the Creator, you must at the same time bow down to yourself, because you are one. As soon as your mind tries to put distinction and leads you to honor and worship some being in the sky, you have fallen victim again to this separation mentality that our mind will form. If you feel the urge to thank a God, you have to thank yourself as well. That's how connected it is. So it's the illusion of worshipping a God outside of us is that. It's an illusion, and which keeps us separated from everything and everyone, and makes us feel so alone and isolated. And by the way, if we seek connection to other people, that's always going to come short, because other people, first of all, they're not connected to themselves. Secondly, there are so many things that demands our attention that you cannot lean on someone else and your connection to them to satisfy you all of the time. That is why it is so necessary and effective to seek out connection within yourself, with yourself. And as you do that, as you connect to the inner universe, your inner world, your inner consciousness, you will find connection with all of nature. Maybe not with human beings, because the human being seems to be the only entity that is disconnected from the all. And that's why we have to reconnect to ourselves in order to connect ourselves to the all, to everything, to nature, and start living conscious and aware.